Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is estimated to have around 164 characters, but when looking at the roster, many may notice that there are multiple copies of the same character. So is Sparking Zero lying about the number of playable characters in the game? Yes, but it is also telling the truth at the same time. And this is due to the way many fighting games, and the Sparking series specifically, define what counts as a character. In the Dragon Ball series, we do not consider Goku in the Saiyan saga to be a different character to the Goku in the Cell saga. Yes, he may have developed into a stronger fighter with more transformations, but he is still the same Goku. Now, as for the Goku in Dragon Ball Super, that is a whole other can of worms and beyond the scope of this video, but you get the idea. This Goku and this Goku are the same Goku, but this isn't how it works in the Sparking series. This Goku and this Goku are not the same Goku.
They're the same Goku.
When it comes to the multiple different Gokus in the series, many players reference back to Tenkaichi 3, where there are characters from the different eras of the Dragon Ball universe. While this is a great example of how characters are differentiated in the Sparking games, we can actually see this concept first come to fruition all the way back in the year 2005 with the release of the first game in the series, Dragon Ball Sparking, or as it was known in New Zealand and North America, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. For its inaugural entry, Sparking had a whopping 90 characters, but looking at its roster, you may see a familiar trend. There are multiple versions of the same character. To be more specific, a character's transformed state is counted as a separate character. If we were to discount the transformations, then the first Sparking roster of unique characters is actually 49, but to do this would be to ignore how the mechanics of this game works. For in this game, characters are unable to transform during a fight. This means when you select Super Saiyan Goku, you are only playing as Super Saiyan Goku. You cannot progress to a Super Saiyan 2 form, neither can you be hit back to his base form. And this isn't the only reason why each transformation is considered a different character. They also have different base stats as well as different supers and ultimates, fundamentally making them their own separate entity. This is further compounded by the progression system that allows for even more unique stat distribution between various forms. Now, it's not clear whether the transformations were always intended to be this way by the developer and so were split off into their own character slots, or if they became this way because of the limitations the devs were having in implementing the transformations into the fight. But either way, the system really helps to elevate the different characters' forms from being just a mere power-up to being their own thing. In the sequel Tenkaichi 2, we see the system expanded upon, with a slightly different progression system as well as allowing a player to transform during battle, but the iteration of forms being characters that players remember the most is in the third installment to the series, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Meteor, or how most of us recognize it as Budokai Tenkaichi 3. In Tenkaichi 3, characters such as Goku and Vegeta are now split up by different eras. There was a bit of this in the second game, but is a lot more prominent in this installment. For example, there are 5 different versions of Goku, ranging from the King Piccolo saga all the way up to Dragon Ball GT. Not only do these Gokus all have varying movesets, but they also have access to different forms. For example, early Goku can't transform into a Super Saiyan, but mid Goku can. And to go even further to differentiate these two versions of Goku and bring them in line with the source material, early and mid Goku's ultimate is the Spirit Bomb. However, end Goku's ultimate changes to the Super Spirit Bomb, where he would turn Super Saiyan right after the energy has been gathered and uses the transformation to give it that extra push. And Goku isn't the only character like this. Another example is Teen Gohan. When in his base form, his ultimate is the Super Kamehameha, but once he is in his Super Saiyan 2 state, his ultimate changes to the Father-Son Kamehameha. Another excellent example of different forms feeling like different characters is Trunks' change from his base form or Super Saiyan form into his grade 3 Super Saiyan. Not only does his attacks change, but his speed is dramatically decreased. Because of its popularity, Budokai Tenkaichi 3's roster is probably the most iconic in the series, but there is another entry in the series that I think Sparking Zero is going to take a lot of inspiration from, and that is Dragon Ball Raging Blast. Raging Blast has a smaller roster, but because of the customization that can be applied to each individual fighter, it actually offers quite a lot of options to players. Each unique character and their transformations, supers and ultimates can be customized by the player, and not only that, they can be equipped with their own set of items too. So depending on how the player uses this customization system, Super Saiyan 3 Goku can be quite different from his other forms. Because each transformation has a different selection of supers and ultimates, you can't have the same ones on every form. However, this is a method of making the various forms stand out from one another and giving players a reason to experiment with each one. As you can see, in the Sparking series, a fighter earns their slot on the roster not just by being an iconic character from the franchise, but also by their different attacks and stats. You can see the same methodology being used in Dragon Ball FighterZ, where Ultra Instinct Goku is not the same character as Super Saiyan Blue Goku. So, is Sparking Zero lying about the number of playable characters in the game? No. Well, better bloody not be. Anyway, I hope this video clears up any confusion that new players may have about how the characters work in the series, and also a refresher for those who haven't played it in a while.